Have you landed that promotion yet? Do you share projects, get contributors at work? Did you finally get that pay rise you were promised? If you answered no to any of these questions, chances are you're missing wisdom and knowledge from this one book. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Watch this video and I'll show you how I applied these ideas, concepts, and methods from this book into my life and gained a promotion at work, increased engagement in my projects, and how you can too. Howdy, my name is Liam and I've been a software engineer for over 12 years and I've worked in various roles in various companies on projects and products big and small. But it wasn't until after reading and applying the lessons from this book that I finally landed the promotion and managed to make the impact I've been wanting to make for years. So today we're going to cover a brief introduction to the book and the author, the 6 best ideas from the book, how they're relevant to software engineers and how to apply them, 1 highly effective action you can take to your next one-to-one meeting. A brief introduction. Written by Chris Voss, his book delves into the art of negotiation based on his lived-in experience as a hostage negotiator. He debunks widely accepted wisdom by using examples of how the theory doesn't work out when put into the field. He's had a majorly successful TED Talk, appeared on numerous podcasts, and runs the Black Swan Group, company providing resources and training based on the concepts in this book. I love reading through this book because I can hear his voice through the writing. You know it comes from Chris. The stories are incredibly engaging and they show the concepts off in high-stakes situations. It's just the right length to avoiding any filler as well. I've not got the physical copy here with me. I get all my books digitally and audiobooks. I got the book for somebody else's gift, so I know it's not that big. You can probably get through the whole book in one intense reading session. So here are the best takeaways and how I applied them. Number 1, negotiation is discovery. Most people think negotiation is a battle of wits, cunning, underhanded tactics, and strong arm on the other side until they give in. They're completely wrong. Quoting Chris directly from the book, your goal at the outset is to extract and observe as much information as possible. Negotiation is discovery. You shouldn't go into a negotiation thinking you have all the cards, knowing all the information. Especially don't go in with the attitude of wanting to flatten the other person like the Wolf of Wall Street. Nobody wants to negotiate with that kind of person. When you're negotiating, you're constantly trying to find out more information about the other person and what they want. Understanding what scenario you're in and what the other person is expecting and wanting from you allows you to frame your goals in a way that aligns with theirs. I applied this by reaching out to people I worked with, having conversations and finding out what their problems were, what their goals were, and what they cared about. Through this, I was able to discover how I could contribute in ways that could help us both get what we want. A true win-win situation. Number 2, it's never about you. This applies to a lot of things, but especially negotiations. Even if the topic is about you, example, you're asking or applying for a promotion, it still isn't about you. It's about how your promotion affects your manager's responsibilities and how it contributes to their goals. This might sound a little pessimistic and negative, but in reality, most people are far too busy and bogged down to prioritize you over their own problems, challenges, and goals. And I'd say that's fair. We're all striving for growth and success. The things you want rarely come from your actions alone, but rather from how your actions create positive outcomes, situations, and feelings for others. Try and frame your own goals and actions around the positive outcomes it produces for those around you, and you'll never struggle for progress. I applied this in various situations which included getting time for a project that would have been otherwise labeled as tech debt. It resulted in improved delivery and quality of life for various teams around the business, and I was a key piece in that delivery of value. Number 3, guarantee execution. The single greatest downfall for any project is uncommitted contributors. Imagine if they'd said, yes, Rohan will answer. But then him and the other riders never showed up to Minas Tirith. It would be game over. Don't fall for the trap of an empty yes. A leave me alone yes, Chris calls it. Yes is nothing without how, Chris Voss. Instead, you need to strive for a committed yes. Chris gives 2 tips on how to get a committed yes. The rule of 3. Getting someone to agree 3 times throughout the conversation avoids potential lies. And establish the how and when. What are they going to do and when are they going to do it by? The first one simply roots out anybody who isn't a sociopath. Most people won't continuously lie or answer a question dishonestly multiple times. The second is very important because you want to get them to tell you how they are going to do it and by when. It's really important it comes from them because it means they've thought about it and now they're willing to invest their time and reputation on it. I applied this in projects I worked on to improve engagement and to gain more active contributors who were invested in delivering. It meant more people were actively contributing, getting recognition, and the system improved as a whole for everyone. Number 4, tactical empathy. This phrase was coined by Chris, and it generally means making the other person feel heard and understood. He clarifies by explaining that empathy doesn't mean agreeing with the other person, but that you truly understand their perspective. This is one of the best ways you can build rapport with somebody, as it makes you more engaging and trustworthy. Another great quote from Chris around this point: every one of us has the inherent human need to be understood, to connect with the person across the table. If you want people to collaborate with you, then you need trust. You need to be able to connect with that person in a genuine way. It couples very nicely with active listening, giving people your undivided attention and listening to exactly what they say. It is a very difficult skill to master. You need to be able to withhold your personal thoughts and judgments and avoid entering conversations with a protective and self-affirming mindset. I applied this by reaching out to those who were using the projects and tools that I helped build and really listening to what they were saying, gathering feedback in a raw, unfiltered manner to avoid my bias and remove my ego so I could see it for what it was. Not feel threatened because I felt like it was a jab at me or somebody else who worked on the project. This allowed me to improve the project for those who used it but felt frustrated by how things were currently. Number 5. Compromise is a lose-lose outcome. This is the whole premise of the book. It's in the title and it's a very, very dramatic stance. But I'll start with a quote from Chris because it encapsulates it beautifully. Splitting the difference is wearing one black and one brown shoe, so don't compromise. Chris Voss. Compromise is when you get the best of both, right? Wrong. What happens more often than not is a solution or outcome that's a bit Frankenstein. The true vision is gone, and at best what's left is a mediocre outcome. At worst is the ugliest parts of both visions. So how do you avoid compromise? When 2 or more people can't decide on something, how do you move forward? The answer? You have to change what they want. And this is by far the hardest part of negotiation. A compromise has all those involved feeling like they've had to give up something. That's a loss. If you change what it is that they want, then you remove the downside. I'll admit, I don't think I can come up with an example where I've pulled this off at work, but I have managed to get my 6-year-old son to want to try his veggies. Number 6, prepare, prepare, prepare. Measure twice, cut once. Fail to plan, then plans fail. There's many phrases that echo the same point. If you don't prepare, you're just asking for failure. You should always go into a negotiation with a plan, like Chris highlights. When the pressure is on, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your highest level of preparation. Chris Voss. He even has a one sheet you can use as a template to fill out before you go into a negotiation. Go into a negotiation prepared, but not like a door-to-door salesman reading a script. Chris recommends not forcing negotiation with yes-orientated questions, a question they can only logically say yes to, but empower them with no-orientated questions. Saying no is far more powerful than saying yes. It's why one of the first words we learn as babies is no. It sets boundaries. Give them the sense of control. I applied this when going for promotion. I filled out the one sheet. Simply filling it out forced me to think about clearly what it was that I wanted, and forced me to think about what could potentially be a deal breaker in this advancement. Here's what you can do from here. Take this one question to your next one-to-one meeting. What are some of the most business critical projects I can be involved in that will impact the future of the company for the better? This is a very clear and very effective question. It highlights you as a person that has genuine interest in furthering the success of the company and those around you. It shows ambition that's aimed at a goal that isn't completely self-serving. You want to move yourself towards projects that have big, positive impact for the business, not only for the value that they deliver, but also the experience they provide. The most high-value projects tend to be some of the most interesting projects to work on and the most difficult. They'll teach you a lot and you'll become a lot more valuable as a result. Don't forget to pick up a copy of Never Split the Difference. I'll leave a link in the description and you can practice your late night FM DJ voice. If you found this video useful, then you'll want to check out this next video where I share in more detail how I got out the mid-level developer trap and how you can too.